Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast, brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of performance first ultralight gear. And with me, as always, Jeremiah Stringer, the king of Kentucky backpacking, and one dang good-looking young man. Jeremiah, how are we doing today, man?
Great, dude. I got the high ponytail I'm rocking today.
That high ponytail's great, but you know what'd be even better?
What's that?
It's if you had you a nice Outdoor Vitals hat that you could put on your head. And I'm telling you, one of the best ways you can do that is through the Live Ultralight membership through Outdoor Vitals. Only 10 months, $10 a month will get you a membership to the Live Ultralight membership. And what's great about it is that $10 continues to compound and compound and compound until you have the money that you want to spend on something. And on top of that $10 you put down, you get a guaranteed minimum of 10% off whatever you purchase on OutdoorVitals.com. Go check that out over at OutdoorVitals.com. We thank them so much for being the sponsors of our show. Jeremiah, we talked about Hawaii last week.
Yeah.
And that was a fun talk. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
Just want to say, hey, we got some people coming in real quick. Let's see who all's in here right now. We got Jeff Peters heading out to the AT this weekend. Sweet. Let's see. We got Suga Canadensis. I got it, but it took a minute.
Nailed it.
Who doesn't enjoy a little verbal sparring? And Steve Wright, good afternoon, boys. Nick Rambles. Hey, Jeff. They're saying hi to each other, not us. Okay. Jacob Poucher, Stringer. Yo, JK, yo. Jacob.
What up, Jacob? Good to see you again this week.
My goldfish drowned. Always leaving his mark. I pooped under Skirka's tent. Suga Canadentis, give these gents some likes. Absolutely. Sean R., what's up? What's up, Sean R.? We are back. We're ready to talk. And last week we talked about Hawaii. We talked about the Stairway to Heaven specifically. And you found an article about that.
Yeah, bro. You sent me some controversial things that we talked about, and that wasn't the only one that we tackled, but I got stuck on this because, I'm on social media, just like a lot of people, and I said, 14 persons arrested, not even peoples, persons. Arrested for illegal hiking in Hawaii. I said, who's illegally hiking in Hawaii and why? And then someone is going to get hurt or killed. I said, let me look into this a little bit more. And I'll be daggone, man. This is the same thing that you had sent me about them closing the stairway. And so I looked in a little more and I was like, wait a second. Maybe we should close this stairway. This does not look the safest. And it got a little controversy. 4,000 metal steps constructed by the U.S. Navy during World War II and then abandoned. So people are going and hiking this. And do they deserve to get arrested? I don't know. It's called the Haiku Stairs, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring this in so people can see it a little bit better here. It's always one of those things when you hear people talking about stuff, and it's like, yeah, but is it really that bad? But that's a pretty impressive view right there, man.
Bro, that's walking into the jungle, descending down the stair. That looks like tetanus right there, that handrail. That's what
tetanus. Totally tetanus. 100% tetanus. So, here's my thing. I always hate people that are saying things like, well, it might, potentially. For years, I have heard that children not like wearing regular seatbelts in back seats, if you were to stop, it's going to chop their head off.
Really?
That was the thing they were feeding people so that they could get you to have your kid in a child seat for longer.
Okay.
I have never in my life heard of a child having their head chopped off by a seatbelt. Not once in my life have I heard of it. And if somebody on here who's listening has an article or can show me something where there's proof that somebody's head was chopped off by a seatbelt, then I'll believe it. But that kind of stuff just drives me a little bit nuts. I'm not sure why it is they don't want people climbing this. I think there's probably some secret alien base out there they don't want people to see. It is Hawaii, right?
Let me give you one, and I'd love for you all to give us one in the comments if you have one. Dude, when I was little, I watched a lot of TV. Still like TV, but a lot less now. And I would sit there, and we had like this is like a 3-foot tall TV, sit in the floor. You only had 2 channels. We had PBS and WB, Warner Brothers. One educational, one entertainment. And you had 2 little bunny ears on top that you can move in different directions so it wasn't so fuzzy. And that's all we had, no cable. And I know there's people on here older than me, younger than me, so all different experiences, but that's just what we had. And this floor TV set with the big speakers built in. And I would sit there, and my grandma would say, "Little Jeremiah, you got to scoot back. You're sitting there in front of that TV all day. Your eyes are going to go crossed. You want to have cross-eyed?" I say, "No, no, Mama, I don't want cross eyes. No." She say, "Well, scoot back from the TV then." So sitting too close to the TV, giving you cross-eyed. What do y'all
Yeah.
got in the comments for me if any come to mind?
Yeah. I remember there was one I was always told, don't make that nasty face. If someone hits you in the back, it's going to stay like that.
Oh, yeah, it gets stuck.
I watched a TV show where they made that real. So like when somebody got hit in the back of the face, there, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, listen. While you guys are doing those, go ahead and give us those comments. I want to go and pull up some of the comments that have been coming in because, of course, the Backpacking Podcast Nation has some of the best comments on the planet. Jacob Poucher says they've been talking about this for years. No, talking about the thing, and Jeff Peters just simply says, "Breaking the law, breaking the law." If you want to add a little metal music to that, you can. You know exactly where that's going. David Cooper has a great idea. We could have a subscriber meetup in Hawaii.
Oh, we can meet at the top of the stairs. So the only way to get there is or do you meet at the bottom? I don't know.
I'd say we meet at the bottom and hike as far as we can before we get arrested.
All 14 of us.
It would be awesome. Jacob, it's called fear mongering. I would 100% agree with that. Apparently, my goldfish drowned said his head got chopped off.
Oh,
so
well, that's ironic.
Probably as a child, I'm guessing. But yeah, so, and then, of course, Nick Rambles, it's got to be the aliens. It's got to be the aliens.
Sitting too close to the TV giving you cancer. I thought that's what they said about microwaves. Wasn't that the thing with the microwaves?
Oh, everything gives you cancer. Are you kidding me? They say smiling's going to give you cancer, probably.
They used to say your phone in your pocket, testicular cancer.
Oh, I know that, and it's 100% true. I'm
yeah,
joking.
I'm
joking. No, that's not true at all. Here's some good ones. Okay, let's go. Let's see. There's the one you were talking about. If sitting too close to the TV will give you cancer. Jacob Poucher goes, here it is. Stringer, that story explains why you think Judge Judy is real life.
Wait a second. Are you telling me Judge Judy is not real life? That's a courtroom, Jacob. Put some respect on it. I love Judge Judy. I watch her every time we do laundry. Every time.
Oh, there's some good ones. Okay, so the next one on the list, man, a few people are listening. These are fantastic. Let's see. Too close to the TV. Here we go. Too close to the TV, just one of many things that was going to make me go blind. This one's great. If you eat Mountain House, it could result in colon purge. But that is not a myth.
Yeah, that one's got the stamp of approval.
That one I think is legitimately proved medically that is for real. Stone Ape Adventures, chewing gum stays in your stomach forever and you eventually won't be able to poop.
Do you pass it or does it go to a certain organ? That somebody always told me, oh, there's a one organ in there where all this stuff goes.
It's called your stomach.
And then it piles up.
And then your intestines. And then your poop.
Yeah. Yeah, we could dive further into the poop situation, man, later. I learned some stuff about the shaping of the poop. So I don't know if we'll get to that. That may be a next week topic. We'll see.
It's science, people. Steve Wright says Outdoor Vitals is paying for it. Oh, gosh. And the last one, they tried to trick us into believing lawn darts were dangerous. I love lawn darts, dude. Jarts. We called them jarts back in the day.
I don't think I've ever played, dude.
Yeah. So anyways, so last week we talked about some controversies in the backcountry, but before we get to those, I want to talk about something real quick, and we're going to need feedback on this big time because we need to know. As you can see right now, if you're watching, Jeremiah just took a drink of water, and typically during this show, I'm taking a sip of some kind of soda. It's usually something completely different every single week. And this week is no different because this week I want to try something I've never tried before. If you are if you're a human being and not a pig, pigs obviously shouldn't like this. They probably would if they ate it. But if you're a human being, you probably like bacon. If you don't like bacon, you're probably not a human being. Um, and it's science. Um, and so people have been asking for a long time, what goes good with bacon? And so it's, does this go good with bacon? Does this go good with bacon? Does this? Well, today we're going to find out, does soda go good with bacon? Not just soda, but this is a bacon soda with maple syrup. So I'm going to open this, but I'm not going to drink it right away. Okay?
Are you gonna let it get nice and warm?
I'm going to let it, well, it's only sitting for a couple minutes. It's nice
Okay.
and cold. It's still sweating, so we're good. But I want to know from the nation, hey guys, will it bacon? Does soda bacon well? And is this going to be good, or am I going to want to throw up? I do have an emergency A&W root beer right here. So if it's awful, I will give it a try. But let's let you guys tell us what you think before I take the first sip, and I will let you know if I agree or not. So Jeremiah, let's talk about some controversies.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let me give if you don't mind, I'll give a 10-second rundown of the ones we tackled last week. Is that okay?
Absolutely, and I'll go ahead and throw this the website back up on the screen so people can see it.
By the way, let me remind you all, if you keep hearing us say, if you're watching this or check this picture out or whatever during the show, if you want to see the video version, you can check it out on YouTube, the Backpacking Podcast, or you can check it out on Spotify, the video version. So we tackled the Triple Crown with less than 3 pounds of gear. Somebody was attempting, did not complete, by the way. Honolulu. We had the Stairway to Heaven, which we talked about a minute ago. Tiny sculptures being left on the PCT. Don't think any of us really love that, because that's not exactly leave no trace. You're literally leaving little clay figures along the way. Putting your tent inside a shelter. I think we all said that was kind of circumstantial, but sometimes necessary. Most of the time not. Most of the time you're just taking up room. And then lastly, hikers on the AT not abandoning their hike as a result of Hurricane Helene. And I thought maybe some mixed reviews there on the hurricane situation. Some people were a little too concerned with them completing their through hike instead of the safety of others, and some parts weren't really affected on the AT, and those people could keep hiking as normal. So it really just depended. So
Yeah.
we got a few more that we didn't get to last week, amongst other things.
Yeah, and so we're going to go ahead and start with this one, which is definitely controversial. And I didn't know this was a controversy this year, but Mount Katahdin is a logistical nightmare. Is it time to move the AT's northern terminus? And I'll read you the paragraph underneath that. It says, it's unlikely that the Appalachian Trail's northern terminus is moving anytime soon, but that hasn't stopped some hikers fed up with the rules and restrictions around summiting Katahdin from floating the idea of moving the extreme point of the AT out of Baxter State Park. Mary Beth Mouse Skillis took a serious look at proposals for rerouting the AT to a new terminus and tried to explain, what is it about this idea that people find compelling? Jeremiah, what do you think about that?
Well, I think anytime that there's going to be change, there's going to be resistance. So I haven't ever been to Mount Katahdin. I'd love to go one day. Don't know if it'd be as a result of a through hike. May just be visiting and hiking through. But I think it is a logistical nightmare, if I'm not mistaken, from the books I've read, from the YouTube videos I've watched of people doing their through hikes. You basically hike up there, and then you have to just backtrack to get back to a place where you can go into a town once your through hike is done. And I know I always say this, but I went through not something quite that terrible, but whenever I was doing the long trail, your end terminus is in the middle of the woods, and then you have like an access trail to even get to an access road so you can start hitchhiking in. So it does. I just feel like it would be a big highlight if there is a cherry on top, and Mount Katahdin is that cherry on top at the end of your hike. But then after you've consumed that cherry on top, then you got to backtrack, and that's kind of a letdown. But
And it's a
I don't know.
sketchy hike because you're going down loose rocks and It's a sketchy hike back down from when I've talked to people about it.
It's kind of a victory lap too, though. So
Yeah.
you really can't gripe that much about it, honestly. I mean, I don't have a huge problem with it, but I'm not really the person it's affecting very much. So
Yeah. Jeremiah, we know you mentioned the long trail because Steve Wright said everyone drink. Uh,
that's right. Bacon.
so um so yeah, I'm kind of I get people saying it's a logistical nightmare, but it's also iconic.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's something to be said for something that's iconic, and I believe that Katahdin is an iconic thing. Um, it's I would be not in favor of moving it, although I get the reasons why some people would want to, but I don't know how many people I've talked to who the whole point of doing that hike is so that you can get that picture up on top of that mountain.
Yeah, as your final stop. But
Yeah.
what would they even move it to? I know that you said in the article that they were seriously looking at proposed alternates,
Yeah.
but I don't even know it's not like Katahdin is perfectly established, right? And people have been
Yeah.
going to that spot as their northern terminus on the AT for decades now.
Mhm.
So I don't know of another nearby spot. Not that I've looked into it real hard, but I don't know of another nearby spot that's going to be better than that. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of through hikers complaining about that being the final terminus.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up to see how long it's been the northern terminus because I know the trail has grown over the years. 80 years since
80 years.
1928. 1928 was when it became the northern terminus. So that's interesting. 80 years, man. We got to
Well,
wait
I'm
at
going to
least 20 and give it 100. I mean, come on, give it at least a century.
Yeah, my final vote on this is too late to change it. Sorry about your luck. It's too late. We've already committed. We're almost 100 years in. We're not changing it now.
I'm kind of with you. You know, even like I know the John Muir Trail ends on the summit of Mount Whitney, and you still got to climb off the mountain. It's not like you can just get your helicopter and go home. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you get done, you got to hike back down. So I mean, it seems like most of your terminuses, except for like the beginning terminuses of these trails, are like
Well, you
that.
could
That's why there's some people I've talked to that said they prefer to hike south on the AT because when you get to the end, you get to Springer Mountain. You just get off the mountain, somebody can pick you up.
Yeah, that's true. A little more accessible. But I guess on any of those big trails, you could start at either end, like out west. Do you want to end in Mexico or Canada? You know,
Yeah,
it's a buyer's choice. I would assume there's so many different aspects of that are affecting your decision. And most of the time, if I had to guess, I can't guarantee it, but if I had to guess, in my experience, it's work related. It's like, okay, does my job let me off in mid-April? Is that when I'm going to get off work? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be starting on the southern end of the Appalachian Trail because in mid-April on Mount Katahdin, it's probably pretty nasty. So I would assume it's mostly seasonal, related on
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're
And
starting.
even in April, you're pushing it because you've got 6 months to do it, and the mountain closes down at a certain point during the year. So you've got to make sure you get there in time. So
Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. Now we're getting some different views on this. Uh, Sean R is saying move it closer to the border to connect with the IAT, the Ice Age Trail. Uh, Chicken Little Trek says you don't mess with tradition,
I kind of
and
like.
David Cooper saying extend the bottom to the Gulf and then top to Canada, make it the Atlantic Crest Trail.
That would be pretty cool.
That's kind of fascinating. You still have the AT within it, but
Let
then
me
you have
say
the
one
Atlantic
thing.
Crest Trail. That's interesting.
I'm loving these comments today, and I want to do a quick shout out here as well. A little announcement. I don't think I told you this, but um, one of our former guest appearees, Jonathan, Mr. Woodall Trails, he does his own little live stream, and I'm going to be on his
It's tonight,
tomorrow.
isn't it? Oh, it's
No, it's
Thursdays. That's
tomorrow.
right. It's Thursdays.
So that'd be May the 8th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Woodall Trails is live stream. So I want to make sure I get the name right. It is Adventure Closet talks. So
So are you guys going to come out of the closet?
we're coming out of the gear closet, man.
Okay.
I honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is I'm gonna arrive at his house at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and we're gonna get ready for the show. So, if any of y'all want to tune in, if you're listening now, or you can catch it on the rewind.
All right. We got to do something here. And
You
definitely
about
watch that. Definitely watch that. We can need to read the opinions about the bacon soda because it's time. So, so here's what we got. Before we ever even announced we were doing this, my goldfish drown said, Billy likes soda. Well, Billy, does Billy like bacon soda? We're going to find out. Chicken Little Trek says, brush your teeth with bacon soda. Bacon soda, get it? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's see. Stone Ape Adventures. John, do you like ginger beer? Well, yes. Yes, I do. All Things Outdoors. Might as well open the root beer now. Nick Ramble says, I'll bet it'll be mediocre. Not terrible or great. David Cooper says, of course, JK found bacon beer in Kentucky. It's bacon soda. I mean, it's, I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Bacon soda. But yeah, so we got that. Let's see. We've got, I love bacon, but that sounds awful. Jeff Peters says, maple candied bacon is good, but maple bacon soda sounds like a bottled tragedy.
Yeah, I might agree.
We'll find out. And Jacob Poucher says, sounds like it probably tastes like chemicals. Well, folks, bottoms up.
You're going to try it right now? What's he think?
It's
Bacon.
not bad.
No.
Hold up.
Oh, we're going round 2. You'll have to email me a shot of that, dude. I really want to try it.
That's actually not bad. It'll bacon.
It'll bacon.
And it's weird. It shouldn't be good. It should not be good, but it's good. I'm like kind of freaked out by it. I was expecting to want to throw up. I was actually thinking I was going to throw up.
Humor me here. Will you give me the top 5 ingredients? Or do they even print the ingredients on that? I don't even know where that bottle's from. Somewhere in mid-Asia where there's no law.
No, it's a product of the USA.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
It's a product of the USA. It's made by the Rocket Fizz Soda Pop and Candy Store. Let's see. Here's the ingredients. Let me see. Maybe.
Oh, he's pouring out the bacon soda onto his computer right now. He's got it tipped totally.
It's leaned up correctly. It's leaned correctly. It doesn't say, man. I'm not seeing it.
All right.
Let me take off my glasses because I'm 51. Okay, here we go. Carbonated artesian spring water.
All right.
Pure cane sugar. Citric acid. Caramel color. Natural flavor. And beet juice.
And where's the bacon?
It's flash pasteurized for stability and safety.
Somehow it tastes like bacon.
And it tastes like it really, and it's weird. Like when you first drink it, you taste the maple, which is really good. And then you get this like flavor, and it's kind of reminiscent of like if you mix root beer and chocolate together a little bit. But then you get like this smoky taste on the back end.
Well, I think maybe we'll go with Poucher's answer on the chemicals. I'm still not getting the bacon.
Well, it just says natural flavors, so whatever that means.
Yeah, bacon grease. Shot of bacon grease in there.
Let me see how much fat is in this. No, I'm kidding. But it's good, man.
I like the pure cane sugar. You can't go wrong with actual sugar. I do like.
Yeah, David Cooper says it right here. At least there's no high fructose corn syrup in there. That's right. None. That's really interesting. And then Stone Ape Adventure says a lot of beer companies make a maple bacon stout.
I'll have to try that. I don't know about maple bacon stout beer.
Do you know what's really good with bacon in it?
That?
Shakes from Sonic. A peanut butter shake with bacon. I'm not even kidding you. That's not a joke. I was at a camp years ago, and we were all going out for milkshakes, and someone said, we're getting bacon milkshakes. Do you want one? I'm like, I mean, why not? You know? Why not? Let's give it a try and let's see what happens. So we got it. I'm telling you, dude, it's so good. You can still get them. All you have to do is go to your local Sonic and say you want them to put bacon in it, and they will crumble up bacon and put it in your shake, and it's good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Is that is that diet baking soda? No, it's pure cane sugar. Uh, what did Jacob Poucher said? It said citric acid is made from black mold. I'm sorry, he said mold.
Oh, you called him out on the typo.
Mold. Steve Wright, how many pigs had to die to make that natural flavor in the bacon soda? I'm not sure, but I'm thankful for their sacrifice. Unpacking, backpacking, natural flavors could mean anything. That's true. That's true. Bacon vodka is better, but only in bloodies. Okay. I'll take your word for it. And Jacob Poucher, Burger King used to have a bacon sundae back in the day. I've had maple bacon donuts before, and they're fantastic.
Man, I can't for the life of me remember what it was I was eating the other day, and I looked on. I was like, I wonder what the ingredients are on here, because
You see who made this? I don't know if it's hard, if you can see it, if it'll get in focus. I get my eyes out of the way, maybe it'll focus it. Lester's Fixins.
yeah, I bet you they make a bunch of different flavors that you could try.
I'd love to meet
Like,
Lester.
well, I can't remember what it was, but you know, we've talked about this before, but I lost quite a bit of weight, and so I try to stay conscious of what's going into my body. So sometimes I'm checking these ingredients, and it's printed really large, artificially flavored. This was like marketed as some kind of healthy food, but all the flavoring
Artificially flavored.
and that's all it said. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, honestly. What is artificially flavored? What do you put in it that would make it considered artificially flavored? That's the same stuff they put in Laffy Taffy? I mean, what is
I have
the
no idea.
artificial? I have no idea either.
I have no idea. But a lot of this is so that we want to put everybody in a good mood because we're about to bring up our next controversial topic, and this one is controversial.
Uh-oh, here we go.
This one is heavy controversy. So everybody be nice to each other. No fighting. Okay? Right? We got to make sure we're all together on this.
What's going on, Hawkers?
It's all secure in Sector 7.
So here we go. The Forest Service is losing 2,400 jobs, including most of its trail workers. The news that the U.S. Forest Service would slash almost all of its seasonal jobs except for firefighters left mountain towns wondering what that would mean for their trail networks and hiking organizations trying to figure out how much of the slack they would pick up. As Nathan Peipenberg reported in the story, the Forest Service has had a maintenance backlog for more than a decade and oversees more miles of trail than it can maintain. What effect will slashing its staff have on a trail network that's already hurting for a lack of help?
Man.
This is a hard one.
Yeah, this directly affects our whole outdoor community when it comes to trail life or just even exploring the trails.
Well, and if you're somebody who's done a lot of backpacking or done just a lot of hiking in general, you know how much you appreciate people that do trail maintenance. I mean,
And I think a lot of times it's volunteer based too. So I didn't even know that we had so many people that were on payroll for maintaining trails, but I assume that is, government jobs. You're coming out, you're cutting trees, you're putting in new signage, you're maintaining trailheads, all of that stuff that, makes a trail well
fixing
marked.
washed out trails from storms.
Yeah, irrigation, yeah, all that.
I mean, there's so much there, and that's a hard one. That is rough. That is extremely rough, and there will be some people on one side that will say we're spending a lot of money, but there's people on the other side going, yeah, but we don't spend a lot of money there.
Yeah, boy, we're really trimming the fat, I feel like, but I don't know, like the airplanes. I don't know if you were reading about in the Newark airport and all that, and how they're they have like there's several of them right now that are taking a 45-day leave of absence, and I guess there was deals offered for air traffic controllers. There's a big shortage of them, but then there's deals offered so that some of them could go ahead and retire, and then there's not enough new people replacing them as they retire, and then that's causing thousands of flights to be delayed or or canceled altogether. And then you have some airports covering other airports as flights, and then that for 2 minutes they just completely went out, like the day before yesterday. And then if it hadn't been sunny out, you could have had planes not being able to see well, and then they could have collided and people could have died. And I'm like, is our world falling apart here? What is going on? So
Hmm.
then I want to go to the woods and get away from this and kind of have some cleared mind, but I don't know if the trail will be there.
Yeah, and I think too. My issue with this one. This is my issue with this one is that for years we have seen an uh, understaffing of our national parks, our state parks, national forests, and
It's
then to cut.
undeniable.
There's just not enough people to do the work that needs to be done. And if you're going to cut from something that's already needing more, that's not a good thing, especially considering um, the way our world has gone and how we have so few really great natural spaces left. Um, this one hurts a little bit to me. I'm not crazy about this one. This one bothers me. I just really struggle with the idea that we're okay with letting something go like that. So, Jeremiah, I want you to go ahead and give your ideas on this for a second. I'm going to jump off of here for something. I think you know why. And I'll be back on in just a second, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I propose probably the next thing we should cut is teachers. I think that'd be a good fit for me. No, and that's a joke. I actually am a teacher for those that don't know. In all seriousness, I'm all for trimming the fat, getting rid of wasteful spending, but when it comes to the outdoor space and like now I'm reading the comments and I get that, like, when you're talking about volunteers and they're the ones maintaining the trails, repainting the blazes, even sometimes going out there and clearing stuff, like we talked about the Foothills Trail and how there's a strong community in that area, the Foothills Trail Conservancy. Those aren't like government employees that are going out here and making new trails. These are like, average Joes signing up, going out there, building bridges. Like John mentioned earlier, re-irrigating things where you get pieces of trail washed out and you have to fix them, you have to maintain them. I get that it's a lot of volunteer based, but I think some of that stuff has to be contracted out. Um, you don't have well, actually, John has a buddy that makes these signs. Um, let's see, what's his trail name? Flash. We've had him on the show before. He makes these signs that are like mock signs that you'd see in the Smokies, or that's the ones he makes. But anyway, just trail signs. Those are government contracted, so we're producing those and putting them up. We got to pay somebody to put them up. So I don't know if the best use of our resources is really trimming off that part of the fat, but we'll see what you say in the comments. Let's see. That's funny, David Cooper. I can't bring it up because John is producing the show, so I'll just have to read it here. It says the baking soda is pushing him to the bathroom. Uh, well, that could be, or maybe he's got a little surprise for you. Mostly retired folks. I assume you're right. Stone Ape Adventures. Retired folks that probably have a lot of experience out in the backcountry helping maintain the trails are really the ones that are pouring back into them. And then Sean R., bad decision. It's going to cause problems. Well, I can't disagree with you there. I can't really see a whole lot of good coming from it, but
No,
that's kind of my opinion, all in all.
it happened, Jeremiah.
Oh, is there a surprise in store?
It happened. So can I share my joy with everyone else right now?
Yeah, I think that we've had enough of getting beat up on when it comes to getting rid of these forest and
Sometimes you
forest.
just need a break from some controversy, right?
Yeah, give us something good, something to smile about.
Do
Oh,
you know what this is, people?
he's it looks like he's holding a large cardboard box fully taped up.
Fully taped up from a company called Garage Grown Gear.
Oh,
Do we
we
know?
do
Do you
love.
know Garage Grown Gear?
Yeah, they host a lot of different awesome cottage companies on their website,
Yeah.
garagegrowngear.com.
Yep. And not only that, but their boy Lloyd Vogel, the guy who runs the whole thing, has been on the show before. Great guy. I see.
Yeah,
I see you, David Cooper. I see you saying open it. Okay, so we're gonna do this right now. So I've already done the long piece of tape because I didn't think about it before I got on the screen, but we're gonna do it right now. So let's see what we got here.
all right. We'll see if he cuts whatever the contents are inside.
And just so everybody knows, this was bought with my own money. This was not some gift thing. This was something I saw in a video earlier this week, and I was like, I have to have this. So,
And there you have it, an official disclaimer so that people don't think that John is basically just a shell for whatever's inside this box, this company.
I might be a shill after I open it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh.
Oh, I can smell it through the television. It smells brand new.
It's Koba coffee. No, I'm kidding. That just came free with it. I don't know where that came from. So hang on. Here we go.
All right.
Ooh.
What do we have here?
It's a brand new backpack from a company called Arn.
I don't even know how to spell that.
AARN.
AARN. All right. Sounds made up.
Oh. Look at this. It's an ultralight backpack with a full internal frame, but check this out. The front has these two massive pockets so that you can take some of the stuff out of the back of your pack to put in the front of your pack to help disperse weight a little bit better. And on top of it, it has a floating suspension system. So it's made so the backpack moves with you as opposed to just being held in place like most backpacks. I'm curious how this is going to work. I actually found out about this on Steve Smith's video recently, My Life Outdoors. He did a video talking about this backpack, and I didn't make it through the whole video before I was on Garage Grown Gear ordering this thing. So if you guys don't think that we are affected by YouTube videos as much as you guys are, you're wrong, because we are. But let me say, I'm just excited about this backpack. There's some really cool stuff, some features on this that are really different. And, like, here's one of the things, Jeremy. I don't know if you can see this.
I see.
See how the strap goes through this back area, but it's not actually attached to the back of the backpack.
Yeah, what's going on there?
It's a floating suspension. So it's meant to hug your back better as opposed to be connected to the backpack. And like instead of having that gap, it actually it's like almost like wearing a shirt, except it's a strap.
I'll have to try this thing on.
Pretty cool, huh? So this is probably going to be the pack I use this summer because it's light enough. It's less than 2 pounds. I mean the straps are really comfortable. It's got a suspension on the back, so it keeps the pack off of your back. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but man, let's just say we'll be talking about this some more later this month after I get out on the trail with it a little bit.
What I went on AARNpacks.com, arnpacks.com, and I clicked on their backpacks, and they have several.
It's the Mountain Magic 50.
Mountain Magic 50 sold out. So you probably had to get it on Garage Grown Gear because they're sold out on Arn's website.
Well, of course they are, because our boy Steve Smith talked about them, and everybody knows when Steve talks about something, everybody's buying it, including me. So that's some pretty cool stuff.
Talk about some of the best stuff.
He does. He really does. And he has some of the best takes on some of the best stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to unpack about this backpack, if you will.
And we will. We'll do that next week when I get a chance to actually play around with it a little bit more. But I was so excited. I was like, I'm not just going to open it. I'm going to open it with the Backpacking Network Nation, the Backpacking Podcast Nation, and making sure everybody gets to see my joy when I get a new item. Plus, I got this coffee to try out.
What is that? Pre-ground?
It's rich, smooth, dark chocolate with single origin coffee from Tanzania.
Oh, I know what you're drinking after you get done with some baking soda.
It's a bar.
Oh, it's a coffee bar live on air.
We're trying it, folks. I just spit everywhere when I said that, too. We're trying this live on air. So this is the Kova chocolate bar. Oh, dude. It's soft. It's been in the back of a truck all day.
I'd give you another drum roll, but I've already hit my quota, so we've had 2 today.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, your face says it all, man. Looks delicious.
So I wonder how it tastes with bacon soda.
Give it a little swig there. Let us know. Chocolate and bacon.
Oh, that's awful.
Terrible, huh?
Don't ever do that. Yeah, ever in your entire life. Don't ever take a
Uh,
bite of a chocolate coffee bar and then drink bacon soda. That is quite possibly the worst flavor I've ever had in my life. So,
all right, you want to do this last controversy topic before we move on to a couple other things?
absolutely. So, sorry,
And also, you got
chocolate.
several comments in here, some gear stuff going on.
Oh, we'll definitely be sure to come back and check on that in a second.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry for all the people listening because you can hear every chew.
High production value here from our producer, John Kelly, here while he eats on air and drinks soda in your ear. Enjoy.
I am just full of happiness.
The
Somebody just actually
ASMR.
said, Pack Raft the World said Coba bars are fire. It is really good. Just don't drink it with baking soda. Okay.
Wise words.
Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Grizzly number 399's death was preventable. Here's what went wrong. For years, Grizzly number 399 was one of the most famous bears in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Her trips into Jackson, Wyoming, where she would draw onlookers and occasionally raid chicken coops and trash, left her with a level of notoriety few Bruins could match. But that life came to a tragic end in October when a car fatally struck her. Emma Veit spoke with Wes Larson, host of Tooth and Claw podcast, and formerly one of the biologists hired to keep 399 from getting into trouble in town, about what led to the bear's fatal encounter and what we can learn from it. So here's the story. You've got this bear who everybody knew about this bear in that area. Everybody loved this bear. They kind of kept up with it, and it got onto a road and it got hit. So I guess the controversy is don't drive on roads. Is that good?
Yeah, how's it preventable?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Larson says that drivers in bear country should always drive the speed limit or below and turn their brights on at night. Sure, you might get your destination a little bit later than you would otherwise, but your chances of hitting a bear go down significantly when you follow these precautions. So it says in the fatal accident, number 399 stepped out on the road and the driver couldn't brake in time and struck the bear, killing her nearly immediately. While driver has received an onslaught of hate and threats online, they were driving the speed limit and weren't under the influence. It was just an unlucky incident. And Larson said it could have happened to anyone. It could have happened to her biggest fan. So the controversy is people's reaction to it, I'm guessing. The fact that people lost their minds. I mean, why would you threaten somebody who accidentally hits a bear that walks out in the middle of the road?
I don't have a good answer to that. And there are some crazy people out there. I would assume that the only reason you would threaten them is you don't have all the information and you make a rash decision on that. I don't see why any sane person would do it. But, I'm really torn on this situation. Here's my dilemma. Man, you're when you're raised and you do a little hunting, do a little fishing, and you keep growing, you understand that stuff dying is part of life. It doesn't make you any less sad. But especially like something getting hit that's a wild animal, that's one of the sacrifices you have to make, that risk, if you're going to be okay with the comfort and the not sure the best word to describe it. I guess basically what I'm trying to say is you want the convenience of having an automobile, you're going to have to tolerate some of this stuff happening, but it still makes you sad.
Yeah.
Like, we have these little birds in the garage, right? There's a bird that got in, there's a gap in the garage door and it made a nest. And in the past, I've found nests in the garage and I just throw them out into the yard, or I'll keep them and start a fire with them. Well, this nest already had eggs.
Say
in
what
it.
now?
You can start a fire with it, man. It's a perfect tinderbox.
Okay.
Yeah, you save those nests. So I said, it's already got eggs in it. It's springtime. Also, we had a baby not too long ago, so it's got a little soft place in my heart. And I look in there, there's eggs. I say, I cannot throw this nest out. It's already got a mama bird in there. Whenever I was peeking over at the nest, she flew out of there like a crazy little bird. And I said, well, I got to leave the nest. And I said, I hope that the bird comes back and these eggs don't just start rotting in my garage and I just got to throw it out anyway. Well, finally, the eggs hatch and there's little birds in there. And then after a couple of days, they start chirping. So every day I've been peeking my head in there, watching these little birds grow in the garage. And then I
Now you
was
have
out in the
dogs.
garage.
You have dogs, right?
I have dogs, but the nest is like
No, you're not. But eventually, those birds are gonna get pushed out of the nest.
that's
So
true.
you
I
better
hope
pray
they
they learn to fly quick.
well, I gotta tell you, what those birds are gonna land on is an air compressor and a floor jack. If whenever they get they're not getting pushed in grass, man. It's a concrete floor in there. So I've been peeking in there, and I was out in the garage yesterday, and I hope this is not the case. But there was a big bird. I don't know if it's a hawk or what, but it seemed like a predatory bird. I keep seeing the little bird. It's a tiny little bird. It'll fly down to the bottom of the garage and then it'll pounce and it'll jump, jump, jump till it gets close to the nest and then it'll fly up in there and start feeding its birds. And then yesterday, right around the area where I keep seeing the bird land and then hop, I saw this predatory bird come in and whoo, it landed and then immediately flew off. Whoo, whoo, whoo. And I said, oh man, I bet that big bird just caught. I mean, this bird is half the size of your fist, the tiny one that's feeding these little birds. And my wife keeps looking at it. Let's, baby Jay, let's check in and see the little birds today. And I had to tell her this morning, I hope I didn't see what I think I saw. Old mama bird
Oh,
might have
buddy.
got snatched up right out of the driveway
Ooh.
to the garage. So I peeked in there. They're still alive, but it tugs at your heartstrings seeing these wild animals. It's something that it just happens, it's part of the cycle. We're introducing cars into there, and obviously that's not a part of the natural ecosystem. But if you
Right.
want the convenience of driving cars and getting place to place quickly, you're going to hit some deer and bear or is it bears?
It's bears
Um,
and deer, not deers and bear.
yeah, deers and
Yeah.
bears, deers and bears. So anyway, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I do
Right.
feel bad, you know, her hitting the grizzly, but what are you gonna do, man? You're driving a car, it weighs 5,000 pounds, and you're driving 50 miles an hour, and you hit, an animal, it kills it. That's
Well,
part of it.
and
Sad.
even though everybody loved this grizzly bear so much, it's the simple fact that it's still a wild animal, and wild animals don't think like humans. So it's not like the wild animal's like, wait, don't stop, don't hit me with your car. It just
Mhm.
ran out in front of the car and it got hit. And the lady wasn't speeding. So if the lady had been speeding, then maybe people could be a little more angry. But even at that, name me 5 people that you're close with that never speed.
How do they know she wasn't speeding, by the way? She just
Oh,
says,
they
"Oh,
can figure that through forensics. They can figure that stuff out by how long the skids are on the road and that kind of stuff. So,
you think so?"
oh yeah, yeah, that's how they figure that stuff out.
I don't believe it.
That's okay. You don't have to.
Show me the receipts. That's what
Show you
I
the
say.
receipts.
Show me
You
the
need,
receipts.
you need to
That's
read
what the
more.
kids call it.
No, but yeah. So somebody actually made a comment. I want to pull this up here real quick. I thought this was interesting. Packraft the World. He said that's better than Yellow Yellow in the Adirondacks who got shot. That's the bear that figured out bear hangs and could open most bear canisters.
Now that's a smart bear. That bear deserves to live.
Yeah, that also means I'm not backpacking anywhere near that bear.
Yeah, yeah, probably so.
Because if he's really hungry, he can probably figure out how to do a zipper, get into into a tent. I always tell
Yeah.
people talk about hammocks and say, "Oh, it's a bear taco." Listen, buddy, you know what's closer to the bear than the bear taco? The idiot sleeping on the ground. So don't give me this bear taco stuff, okay? Go with the bear
That's
tacos.
hilarious. That's hilarious about the zipper, bro. You're giving me a chuckle. Uh,
All right. Well,
Go ahead.
let's move on because there's something we wanted to talk about that is also this needs votes from everybody. We need everybody's input on this because oh, here we go. Check this out. Hey, receipt. Here's your receipt. You ready?
Okay.
I was in law enforcement, and that's absolutely correct. Skid marks, road conditions, wind weight of the car, all that figures into the equation.
What What?
That's how they know the
What?
speed of the vehicle.
Chris Wibbenherben Meikenschnacker.
Wibben Horstermeister. Come on, man.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Lost it.
Yep. Told you. I'm telling you, man. Doc
John's looking at
Watson, bear burritos. Um,
He's a tick guy.
well, and apparently, yellow was a girl and taught all of her cubs. So there's like a whole pack of them out there doing that. So, okay, so Jeremiah, you gave us a controversy that we need everybody to kind of input on this, having to do with footwear. Why don't you share with everybody kind of what you want to talk about here?
Okay. Now, John claims that we haven't talked about this before, and I don't think we have. So if we have, I'm sorry. But I don't think that you've ever given us your take on it. Okay. So you're getting ready in the morning, and everybody's always like, oh, you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I do. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm moving down to the socks and the shoes.
You know what's funny is I don't put my pants on one leg at a time.
Oh, how do you put your pants on?
I usually sit down, put both of my feet, and then just pull them both up.
Psychopath. This guy's a psychopath.
Am I a psychopath?
Well, didn't know till now. He drinks baking soda, and not the kind you cook with either. Literal
gone.
He drank the entire thing, and he's chasing it with an A&W.
So people who didn't believe me, I'm shocked that is that good. So,
what are those run you, by the way? If you don't mind me asking, is that a $12 baking soda? Or?
We bought it at Jungle Gyms up in Cincinnati, so I have no idea.
Okay.
Right. No clue at all.
All right, let me get back to the socks and shoes. So my question to you, what's the right way? What's the right way? Should you do sock, shoe, shoe, or should you do sock, shoe, sock, shoe? Now, this could be at home.
Right.
Or when you go to the woods, it might be a little bit different. And let me just throw this out there. My opinion, if you're in the woods or whatever outdoor space that you're in,
right.
If you don't want to get little crumbs and all this stuff that's going to collect on your socks, sticks and sand and dirt, and if you don't want that in your shoes, you need to do sock, shoe, because you don't want to do sock, and then put your feet on the ground and then put your shoes on, because that defeats the whole purpose of keeping them clean before you put them. You're going to get blisters doing that. So let me know in the comments at home or in the backcountry, what's the right way to do it? Should you do sock, shoe, or sock, shoe? I bet you never even thought of it. I bet you got ready this morning. You probably wore sandals, but if you didn't and you did socks and shoes, you didn't even think about it. You just put those suckers on.
This is the best thing. Super canadensis. What?
Now, if you want a little glimpse into my mind, this is what, with my morning cup of Joe, this is what's going through this brain.
Yeah. Packraft the World says, at home, sock, shoe. In the woods, sock, shoe. Doc Watson, socks? I've been wearing toe shoes for years, and even though I have toe socks, I rarely wear socks.
Okay. All right, I can see your point there, Doc.
I will say I am typically a sock, shoe person, regardless. Except when I'm if I'm in my tent, I'm that way. But if I'm in a hammock, I'm not that way.
Well, can I make a confession?
Yes.
I do both. I do both in the outdoors. And if I do sock, shoe, then I have to make sure the top of my shoes are fairly clean, and then you put your foot on top of your shoe. Sometimes you even step out of your hammock. You don't want to put your shoes on. You don't have camp shoes. You got to stand on your shoes and pee. You know what I'm saying? You wake up, it's 2 a.m.
I just throw my shoes on. I don't even put socks on. I just throw my shoes on and go to the bathroom.
Oh, I'm wearing socks. I'm already wearing the socks.
You sleep with socks on?
Oh, you don't?
No. I hate sleeping with socks on.
Well, I don't sleep with socks on at home, but I do whenever I'm out in the backcountry. I like warm feet.
My feet are warm. What kind of quilt are you using?
Well, it depends on the weather.
Yeah,
Usually
Unless it's
0 to 4.
really cold. Unless it's really cold, I don't.
Oh my gosh, Sean's comment. Oh my gosh.
I like this. Sean R, be different. Shoe, shoe, sock, sock.
Now you got the right idea.
Okay,
Now
Brian
that's-
Winburn, we've run out of things to talk about, and now it's awkward. No, this was actually planned.
I just cleaned this one out.
Jerry, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot this.
I've been sitting on this one for months now. I've been waiting to talk about putting my socks and shoes on, boy.
Oh, this is not some new thing. Jeremiah has been wanting to do this for a long time. So I'm gonna make sure people see that this has been planned. Jeremiah actually plans our podcasts as far as like what we talk about, for the most part. So let me see here. Let me pull it back.
And don't let John mislead you here. He has equal say in the show. This is co-partnership here. You know.
So here it is right here, folks. That's not it. Hang on. We're gonna pull this back up. Here we go.
That's Grizzly 3.
If you look down at the bottom of the screen, sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or sock, shoe, sock, shoe. It's right there, folks. This is not something we made up. And this is also to show you that, believe it or not, we actually have a plan when we get on here, even though it doesn't sound like we do half the time.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Now, I didn't give John really any context there, but I guess he figured it out pretty quick on the sock shoes.
Yeah, I kind of assumed what we were going to be talking about with that. Also, I made sure that you all couldn't see the next topic because we were going to end with that topic right now. But you guys, thanks for playing along with our silliness and our ridiculous questions that we ask. I love the fact that Tanya Brown, no socks when sleeping. Suga, 100% sleep with socks all the time, avoids wife's cold toes. Jacob Poucher, whatever his name is, sleep in your damp, wet socks and they'll be dry by morning. He's right about that, though. If your socks are wet, if you sleep with them on, they will dry out by morning. I'm not reading Doc Watson's comment. If you're in the comment, y'all can read it. We're good. If Stone Adventure of sitting down is sock, shoe, or sock, sock, shoe, shoe. If I'm standing up, it's sock, shoe, sock, shoe. So there you go. So we got a lot of comments on that, man. A lot of comments on that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, we're totally not reading. Doc, you're cracking me up, dude. You're hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Let me say a little special shout out here. Wanted to say, depending on when you're listening to this, a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. My mom and my wife, a new mother. John, you got anybody to say happy Mother's Day to?
Well, first off, my mom, Rebecca Kelly, very much love you, Mama. She did such a good job raising me that I grew up to do what I'm doing right now, and that's talking with Jeremiah Stringer. And my wife, of course, Rhea. She is the most patient human being on the face of the planet. So she puts up with me, and she's an awesome mama. So
yeah, thank you all so much for especially Mom. Yeah, like John said, turn me into the man I am today. Look at us now. Look at me now, Mom. No hands.
No hands. 0 hands. Okay, Jeremiah. So let me ask you the question. Since we're on the topic of Mother's Day, what is the ideal Mother's Day for a mom? If she could pick one of these 6 things, what would it be? And for you ladies who are listening, give us your input. And for you men who are listening, try and guess. We have 6 ideas here for Mother's Day. 1, breakfast in bed. 2, extra coffee. 3, everybody going to church with mom. D, eat at a restaurant. E, I don't get this one. Jeremiah's going to have to explain it, and we'll come back to it in a second. But righteous gemstones. And F, no chores. So we do all the cooking. We do all of the washing and cleaning and all that stuff. So Jeremiah, explain the righteous gemstones thing to me. I'm trying to get where you're coming from here.
Well, first, I love that you went 1, 2, 3, D, E, F.
4, 5, 6.
Well, the righteous gemstones. So a little spoiler here. That list is my framework for the day of Mother's Day to celebrate Bridget because she picked all those things, and that's what she wants her day to look like. So if you
Ah,
can only pick one, which one's the best one? Now, The Righteous Gemstones. This is a television show made by Danny McBride, who very funny guy, by the way. Um, it is on Max, formerly HBO Max, and it basically follows this family who the father is the head of this mega church, which you might find entertaining. As you said on here many times, you work at a church and have for
yes.
many years. So you get to see basically a little behind the scenes pull back the curtain of a mega church, but it's on Max, so pretty much everything's allowed. You don't have to follow exactly the same guidelines that you'd have to follow if this was on, say, I don't know, just a regular TV channel like what's The Walking Dead come on AMC or
AMC.
yeah. If you produced it on a show, you don't have to follow the same rules on Max. You can pretty much say and do and show whatever you want. So
Oh yeah.
it's pretty ridiculous what they do on that show. And there's a lot of corruption. As you can imagine, it's a fake show about a mega church. So you get like super irony of what they're spending the tithing dollars on. And they have like an amusement park in their private ranch of thousands of acres. And all the kids have mansions that are
Yeah.
the kids of the mega church pastor. And it's just a ridiculous show, but we're super into it now. We're on season 3, episode 3. So no spoilers out there. But we're killing it on The Righteous Gemstone. So hopefully we'll get to binge watch some of it on Mother's Day as a little reward for celebrating Mother's Day. But my wife, I think she just got home. She just brought her baby home. He has pink eye. So we'll see how that
Oh,
goes.
good. I'm
He's
glad you
got
didn't get it yet.
ear infection and pink eye.
Oh
So if he
gosh.
farts in my face, I think I might be taking a couple days off work. But yeah.
We got some killer comments coming in from this. You just got to see
Okay,
these.
let's hear it.
So the first one's Doc Watson. He says, It's not recommending she get her chores done on Saturday so she can relax on Sunday."
Now you got the right idea, Doc.
That is not what you're supposed to do.
Laundry.
We got JG Coast says, "Number 7, a free day without me, the kids, and the dogs. LOL."
Oh,
There are a
I
lot of
can
moms that would appreciate that. A lot of moms would appreciate that. And Sean R, he goes, "Number 8, wine."
yeah, there's some of that in the fridge. I
gonna
guarantee you
say.
that'll be opened.
And then Tanya Browning, we actually have a mom on here. She said, "You had me at breakfast in bed."
Oh, number 1 for a reason.
Yep. I was gonna say I haven't talked to my kids yet, but we're gonna be doing that on Sunday with my wife. And I've already told her, I'm like, we can't surprise you because you'll wake up if I get the kids up. So just stay in bed on Sunday. Just don't get up. If you hear
Yeah.
anything, stay in bed. It's all good.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart, man.
I'm like, just stay in bed. Don't get up. So we're gonna let her stay in bed. We've got one of those beds where you can lift the back up and sit up in bed and all that kind of stuff. So she doesn't even have to move. She can stay right where she is. So we're gonna bring it to her.
What are you going to DoorDash something?
No, we're gonna cook. Me and the kids are gonna cook.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
all
man.
right. Yeah. Well,
Come
John,
on, man. You know me. I'm basically an Epicurean with my delicious bacon soda and all the things that I like to have. So,
there you have it, Mr. Mom.
there you go. That's right. Jeremiah, it's been a good show, dude.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Fun show.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Next week, we'll talk some more about the backpack. We may have a special guest on here with us. Want to say hello to that hiking guy who waited till it was 3 minutes after an hour of us being on here to finally show up. But in all seriousness, check out his podcast, Campfires and Cat Holes, with our good friend Jeremy. All things outdoors. We are glad to have you guys on. We're glad to have you guys in the backpacking podcast nation. Big thank you to Outdoor Vitals for being our sponsors for the show. And Jeremiah, big thank you to you for putting up with me for 5 years.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Make sure you check out Adventure Closet Talks with Jonathan and I on May 8th at 6:30 on YouTube. Woodall
6:30 p.m.
Trails.
Don't miss it.
6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there.
All right, check it out. Check it, guys. We'll see y'all later.